week 1, session 2 of my marathon training. Week 3, session 1. Currently doing week 3, session 3. Week 4, session 1. Week 4, session 3. Week 5, session 1. Week 5, session 3. Week 6. We've got this. We have got this. Session week 7, session 2. Week 8, session 3. Week 9, session 1. Week 10, session 2. And then I stop and I look around me. I realize how fucking beautiful it is. And how lucky I am. Week 11, session 1. Week 12, session 2. Week 12, session 3. My hands were so cold. I was really proud of myself. I thought I was filming, and I wasn't. It's week 14, session 1. Week 15, session 2. It's week 15, session 3. Week 16, session 1. The hardest run I've done in a long while. My energy is lacking and I just felt sick the entire way. It's week 16, session 2, the last run before my marathon. 1, don't eat breakfast just before I run because I get a stitch. 2nd, don't wear a coat, even if it's raining, because it's hot. And this is session 2, because of my back pain. It's foggy outside, so my hair is like soaking wet now. Felt like I was being weighed down by my anxiety today. So cold. There's like... So I'm basically using all my energy to either not slip on ice or to warm up my hands. Hello and welcome to the video. If you couldn't tell by now, I'm running a marathon. It's this Sunday, and if you're new to the channel, hello, welcome. My name's Ellie. I upload videos that kind of document my life and my mental health journey, things like that. So feel free to subscribe if you feel like you'd be interested in that. So yeah, I'm running the Brighton Marathon on the 2nd of April 2023, which is this Sunday. I'm not sure when I'll upload this video. Hopefully before the marathon. But I am running it to raise money for Shine Cancer Support. It is a charity that supports 20s, 30s, 40-year-olds, so younger adults, through diagnoses of cancer. It's a very good charity. They do a lot. They have a podcast, they have a blog, they have a website. So feel free to follow the link in my description box. It will take you to my Just Giving page, but then also I'll put in a link for their website as well. And if you want some more detailed information on them, I did do a previous video talking about my marathon and kind of the start of my journey. So if you want a bit more information on Shine Cancer Support, head over to that video and there's lots in there. So yeah, I'm running this marathon to prove to myself that I can do it and that I can do difficult things. And again, there's more information as kind of the reasons behind why I'm running the marathon in my previous video. So feel free to go and watch that one if you want and then come back to this one, or vice versa. Whatever you fancy. This video is going to be more about the journey that I've had throughout the training, both mentally and physically, and how I've kind of progressed in both of those areas. I'll go into a bit more detail of it. It has been a roller coaster, but I have loved every second of it. I've loved every session. It's been great, and I think I've learned so much about myself that I wouldn't even have thought about if I didn't do this training. So it's not only proved that I can like run a certain distance, but also mentally proved to myself that I can push through difficult things, or I can push through certain pains, or I can hold space for myself. So throughout the training I faced many different struggles. I suffered with back pain for a bit. I have now realised that it's, so I do pole dancing classes as well, like pole fitness classes, and there's a certain move where you go inverted, like upside down on the pole, and you have your like hand behind your back like that, but the pole's like here, and it hurts like this part of my back specifically. So I know what it is now, but at the time it was really stressful because I had no idea where my back pain was coming from. I wasn't used to running as much as I was during the training, and so I was concerned that it was the training. Luckily, it's not. It's nothing to do with how I run, because that was another concern. My legs are different sizes, so I was like, am I compensating? Like, my left leg's a lot weaker than my right, so am I compensating? And my back pain was on the left, so I was like, does that mean something? But it's fine. It's nothing to do with my running, and I've since just avoided that move in pole. I'll go back to it after, maybe, but at least I know where the back pain is coming from. But that was one of the struggles. Another struggle was COVID. So I got COVID, I think a couple of weeks into my training, which kind of really put me off, to be honest. So I've had COVID 3 times now, and I never really struggled with the symptoms, but the third time I got it, I was actually struggling to breathe a little bit, and it was harder to breathe through my nose, obviously, like, you know, with any cold or that like type of thing. It's always harder to breathe, and then it's harder to run, so that made that week tricky, but again, pushed through it, proved to myself that I could, and I've learnt to run with tissues now, because actually they're very helpful. Even if you don't start with a snotty nose, you'll end up with one at some point. So I always run with tissues now, so a learning journey. I also struggled with anxiety throughout the training, so you'll see a couple of clips where I'm briefly describing it. I'll probably go into more detail about my anxiety and my actual mental health journey in other videos on my channel, so keep a lookout for them if you're interested. But yeah, I struggled with anxiety quite a lot, and there was one specific run where it was one of the longer runs, and I genuinely felt like I was being like weighed down, like somebody was like pushing me down as I ran. So that was interesting, but I find that at the moment running actually really helps me mentally. It helps clear my head. If I'm ever stressed or anxious at the moment, I will go for a run, and it really helps to just clear my head. And I don't know if that's because of the running or because of the fresh air or whatever it is, it's doing good for me, and yeah, it's great. I'll put on a podcast or I'll listen to some music, it depends what mood I'm in. You know, I'll breathe the fresh air and I'll feel the nature and I'll enjoy the views around me. And I think I'm quite lucky where I live in a place that is very scenic, and I can go into like a foresty area, or if I do a bit of a longer run, I can like go to the beach. And so I do feel very, very grateful for that. It helps me mentally. So anxiety wise, it actually helps a lot of the time. Okay, another struggle. Pain, like body pain. So a lot of the time I'm thinking like stomach area when I say that. My digestion is not the best. I delve into my eating struggles a little bit during this video as well, but I do struggle with my eating habits fairly often, to be completely honest, at the moment, and it means that my digestion is not in tip-top condition a lot of the time. And so sometimes when I'm running, my stomach really hurts. A lot of the time it's okay, and you know, I can run through it and things like that. But there was one run where I felt so bad. I hadn't worn shorts in so long. I'd worn leggings for every run because it was just so cold. I wore shorts for the first time, and they're gorgeous. They're Gymshark ones, and they're amazing. They've got really thick waistband, like comes up to like here. And like all of this is waistband, which is great for like cinching in, and I look amazing in them. But not great when you're bloated and you're running and the waistband's pushing against your stomach every time you step. That did not make me feel great, to be completely honest. But I proved to myself that I could push through that run, and I did. I felt like I was going to throw up, and I just kept running, and I've proven to myself that now I can do that. And I hope that it doesn't happen on the marathon, but if it does, at least I've come across that problem before and I know that I can deal with it. Another one is tiredness, although completely my fault, to be honest. So since moving back home, so if you don't know, I'm living back with family now. I was renting in Bournemouth, so like living independently away from family, but now I am back in my hometown with my parents and back with all of the people that I was originally friends with before I moved that I didn't keep in contact with. So I now have much more of a social life than I did in Bournemouth, and I'm getting invited out places in the evenings a lot more often, and I'm making the most of it. I am utilising every night that I can spend out with friends and enjoy my 20s, because for the last 2 years I did not feel like a 20-year-old. I felt like married mid-30s life, and I want to be able to experience my 20s like fully and enjoy it and really own it. Before I ran my half marathon in the training, so I think it was like 10-11 weeks into the training, Now, I haven't been out clubbing. I've only been 4 times now in total, I think. And this was the 3rd time. And I didn't drink much. I never drink much anyway. And I'm very lightweight, so, you know, cheap date if anybody wants to take me out. But yeah, I didn't drink much, but obviously I stayed up very late. And I think I stayed up until about 5 AM. Fell asleep, woke up at 11, thought, oh, I have to do a half marathon today, and run a half marathon at like 1 PM I think I started. That was a tough run, but I ran through tiredness and through dehydration frustration. So, you know, not wise in hindsight, but I proved to myself that I could run tired. Actually, it was an all right run, and I did do the whole half marathon. I walked the last kilometre of it, I think, and you'll see that in the video. But it was actually a good run, and I saw one of my old friend mums, I think it was like 7k in. And I'd actually run the half marathon with her 3 years ago. So it was actually really nice to see her. She was like, oh, you're keeping up with your running. I was like, yeah, I'm doing a marathon. But yeah, it was really nice to see her. What other struggles did I have? I've got like notes written. It just makes it easier, doesn't it? Oh, nearly tripping over dogs and children. That's a big one. For near where I live near lots of dogs and lots of children. And the route that I use for running is a route that lots of people use for dog walking. I don't blame them. It's a gorgeous route. However, it's very annoying when I'm trying to run and there's dogs always off the lead, and they look fine and they look like still, or they'll be like sniffing in a bush right until the last second when I'm like there about to run past them, and then they just run across. I have to like either hurdle or just dead stop, and when I'm doing intervals, that's really not great. And children on the seafront, it's frustration, but then again, it's a shared space, so what can you do, you know? But yeah, that's been a struggle that I've had to get past, and I guess like running in the actual marathon with lots of people around me, at least I'm used to running around people and like around objects that I have to avoid. So silver linings, learning opportunities. I've practiced running and walking up hills. Normally, well no, not normally, I always hate that. It's just like, oh, it's awful. Although running downhill actually I think is worse because it hurts my knees a lot more. Running uphill is okay as long as you're like mentally prepared for it. But yeah, on the run, like longer runs, I'll normally aim to go towards the seafront, but there's like halfway to the seafront, there's a big hill that I've got to climb up and then climb back down and then carry on running. So I've practiced hill running a lot more than I usually do, which I guess is a good thing. I'll be prepared. I don't think there's any hills in the marathon, but it's got to be doing something good. At least my knees are more used to running downhill now. I feel like that's something scientific that is good. Treadmills. Treadmills are not my favourite thing ever. I feel like they're my least favourite part of equipment in the gym. And I much prefer running outside, like actually physically running on pavement. Running on a treadmill is really not my favourite thing to do. I hate it. I don't know what it is. The bit I most enjoy about running is like nature and feeling fresh air and seeing the gorgeous views and things like that. And I don't get any of that on a treadmill. I'm just like step, 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 step. And it's boring to me. I don't know. I feel like I really need distraction if I run on a treadmill. But I did prove to myself that I can do runs on the treadmill because of the crappy UK weather where we get rain and we get snow. And we had snow in March. And I did not want to run on the icy ground. I proved to myself that I could run on a treadmill because I kind of had no other option. I still wanted to do my training, still wanted to get it in. Didn't really want to break my neck though. And in the torrential rain, I have run in the rain and actually sometimes it does feel very good. But for like shorter runs, it's really not my thing. It's amazing, like the rain is amazing when you're really wanting to feel in touch with nature and also at the end of a long run because it cools you down, it feels great. But if you're doing like a 20-minute run and it's chucking it down for the entire 20 minutes, that run is not as enjoyable. And at that point, I question the treadmill. So I've gotten more used to running on a treadmill, although not often. Throughout all of that and throughout the training, I have learned that when I put my mind to something, I really can do it. And I truly do believe that I can do this marathon. I do believe that I'm going to get through it and I'm going to enjoy it at the same time. And I cannot wait for that feeling at the end when I have finished my marathon. I've learned that I could get through a lot more than I thought I could. Before starting this training, I didn't think that I could just run 34 kilometers just on a typical Sunday afternoon, just do a 34k. It's crazy to me. I've also learned to support myself and to feel proud of my achievements. So I have been able to push myself through difficult runs and support myself through that, but at the same time, I've let myself rest when I needed to. I've let my body rest when it needed the rest. When I had my back pain, I ended up missing one of the sessions completely, I think. And then the next session was meant to be a 2-hour run and I did a 2-hour walk. And I debated that walk as well, but I listened to my body, and for someone that doesn't normally listen to their body ever, that was a really big achievement for me, and still like right now just thinking about it, I'm still so proud of myself. And I think I'm getting more used to the idea of actually feeling pride in what I do and feeling proud of myself. And that's really big for me. And I'm so grateful that this training has enabled me to be able to do that. I've also learned to take in and appreciate life more, appreciate nature around me, appreciate the fresh air, appreciate other people as well. I've been in contact with a lot more people recently, and I don't know, it's a nice icebreaker. I'm marathon training and most people turn around and go, "You're crazy, why on earth would you do that?" I think it sparks conversation, and actually it has really helped me. It's helped me mentally as well, kind of with my anxiety around new people. It has really helped because it's such a good icebreaker. It's making me feel more confident and more proud of myself, and I think that that confidence shows, or at least I hope that it shows. I've learned to fuel myself properly on runs. There were a few runs where I definitely should have fueled more, and I have really learned how much fuel that my body needs, and I've learned to look at food more in the sense of fuel as well. And I still very much enjoy food, but I think it's actually helped my mindset around food a lot more, where I'm thinking about what I need pre-run, and you know, I need quick release energy, so I need carbohydrates. Normally I'm one to try and avoid carbs, and this has been a really good push and a real push towards actual recovery for me as well, and it has really helped me because I fucking love toast now. My classic go-to pre-run food is toast with peanut butter and jam. It is my favourite thing ever right now. I love it. I've had it for the last like 8 weeks and I have not gotten bored of it at all. I'm not bored of it. I don't think I'll ever get bored of it. I'll let you know if I do. But again, like during my runs as well, I was avoiding energy gels, and now I fucking love energy gels. They're so good. They're so good. Dried mango and dates on my run. So good. I've learnt to fuel myself in a way that prioritizes my running rather than thinking about body image, because I think personally for me, I've struggled with that for years, and I think, you know, I still do struggle with it and I still will struggle with it, but this has really helped me learn that there are more important things to the way that your body looks. When, you know, when I've run a 20k, I don't care what I look like, and I know for a fact other people don't care what I look like either, because I'll get compliments on, "Wow, you ran 20k, that's amazing," rather than, "Oh, but you know, your stomach was a bit bloated on that run." Nobody cares, and I don't care anymore, or I'm learning not to. So that has been really positive for me. Also, I'm loving music again, like a lot more, and I'm varying my music taste. Spotify is great for that. It recommends me music. I'm like, wow, this is good. So yeah, I'm varying my music a lot more, which has been great. I've really enjoyed that. And I recently discovered drum and bass. Now, I hadn't listened to drum and bass like at all before. Like, closest I'll get is like, oh, itchy nose. Closest I'll get is like remixes to songs. But drum and bass is just like, it's so good on a run because it's got such a good pace. And most of the songs are just so upbeat and happy, and it's just fast paced. So you just like running along enjoying the music, and like it fully envelops you. It's great. I've learned to love music again. It's very good. But yeah, this journey, this training has been a roller coaster of emotions, a roller coaster of feelings, just a general crazy roller coaster. But it has been an incredible journey with so much physical growth and so much mental growth. I feel closer to myself than I have in a long time, and so much more aware of myself and my emotions and how to deal with those emotions as well. And I am so proud of myself for getting to this point, like getting here. I'm in my final week. My marathon is in 5 days time, and I am so grateful to everybody that has supported me throughout my training and wished me good luck, and also supported Shine Cancer Support, the charity that I am raising money for. And I feel so lucky that I am able to do this, and also that I am able to share it with the world as well. And I am so grateful to anybody watching this, and if you have gotten to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe. It would really help my channel out. That's it for the video. Here's to the marathon. I'm sure I'll make a video where I'm actually running the marathon, but we shall see. I hope you are all well, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.